Woo! It's showtime! Woo!
Alright guys, so if you guys don't know, I made a video about a couple months ago addressing the issues on iOS 14 and Grand Cross on both JP and Global. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because it got noticed. There's a lot of people that freaking noticed the video, and I'm like, really? This happened 2 months ago and you guys are just noticing this now? Well, that's a but very few people noticed it back then, and now a lot of people are noticing it now. But this is the beta version. We're talking about the official final version of the game, or not the game, but the iOS 14. So right now I actually do have iOS 14 on my iPhone 7, and I do have the JP version of Grand Cross up, so let's just jump right in. Now first of all, I have a couple of experiences with this, and let me just plug this in for a second. There we go. I do have a couple of experiences with Grand Cross on here. One is the fact that you may not be able to access a bunch of the content, and two, Grand Cross does have a pop-up that warns users not to update to iOS 14 for some reason. I personally think they're not finished fully testing iOS 14. There should be another one, but oh shoot. There's supposed to be a pop-up window that tells users not to update to iOS 14. Usually when you get it in-game, because apparently that's how it is. Okay, so far everything looks smooth, and you see, it is possible for me to get into PvP. It is possible. If it does crash, then it crashes. Okay, so I can get into PvP. I think this is the only piece of content that will allow you to get. They will allow you to get in. You can still power up your characters. I think you can still collect your rewards. Yeah, you should be able to, but I don't think so based on this. See, you can't access the missions, but you can't actually go into them for some reason. That's just an error issue, I guess. Hopefully they'll let me get into here, but if they won't let me, then I could just switch over. Oh, never mind, they would. Alright. So right now, this is Global Grand Cross, Global/Asia, because they're both in the same thing. But this is what happens. You can still get into PvP. This is the same situation. You can still get into PvP, but you won't be able to get into some of the content. I may not be able to do that because I don't want my phone to crash in the middle of a video. That would be stupid, right? But this is what's happening in the final version of iOS 14. So if you already updated, I honestly recommend no, I won't tell you guys yet, but I would honestly recommend downgrading, if that makes sense. There's a lot of videos on actually how to downgrade your OS version, because I am not going to be doing that in this whole video. You can search it up on YouTube. There's a lot of videos on how to downgrade your device to to the latest version of iOS 13, which I believe is 13.7, 13.8. But you can still access PvP through here as well. I think you can. Just to be clear, just be sure, you can still access it. And yeah, you can still access PvP, which is pretty much the only piece of content you'll be able to get into if they ever fix what's it, Grand Cross on iOS 14. I don't know why they're more focused on device specifics, which is what I'm going to be talking about next. I don't know why they're focusing on specific devices that have more than 2 gigs of RAM, nor why they haven't fully tested this on iOS 14. Maybe it's because they've been prioritizing on content for all of us players lately, that this may have been like a side priority. Like, as they're creating more content, they're also testing it Grand Cross on iOS 14. So maybe that's the reason why, but I'm not really sure. I'm not a developer. Plus Netmarble has small groups of developers that are working on certain games, so I'm guessing that's the reason why they're not fully finished with it. And they did put an actual announcement on the official forum if no one has actually read it yet, because that would have been very smart. So I'm actually gonna go into here. Like I said, if you guys haven't checked out my first updated video, then go check it out. It's actually very. This was actually a very important video before people even watched it. So, let's see. Yes, I did also make an actual post on the official forum under, what is it, bug reports. So you guys can go actually find it. It's actually not too hard to find it, but it's up there. Alright, so this is the actual post made by them about yesterday at 8:36 p.m. They informed us that yeah, iOS and slash iPadOS 14 officially launched yesterday. I got the final version about couple days earlier than that. It's just because I was a beta tester. Our team has conducted tests with the demo version of OS 14 and found that devices with 2 gigabytes or less of RAM may encounter issues with accessing and playing the game. As such, we ask iOS/iPadOS device users to check your RAM size and recommend not to update to the new OS version if your device has 2 gigs or less of RAM. They mean all of these devices, which really sucks for people like me. Because like I said, I do have an iPhone 7. I don't know why they also included the iPhone 8. Because the iPhone 8 is a lot more powerful. But I guess it doesn't really work on here. So these are the list of the iOS devices that have 2 gigs of RAM or less. But some devices that do have 3 gigs of 3 gigs of RAM or more may also encounter issues based on factors that influence RAM, such as usage of apps running in the background. So if you have like a really powerful device, let's say iPhone X or iPhone 11, or maybe a Samsung Galaxy Note 20, then you might want to take off some of the apps in the background in order for this to be playable in quotation marks. But yeah, this is the reason why I'm looking at this is because I feel like they've tested this, but they haven't truly tested it. They haven't fully concluded the fact. Yeah, they said that conducted tests and found that they haven't truly finished it yet. So I'm guessing they're still in the middle of like doing some more tests on iOS 14, including devices with 2 gigabytes of RAM or less, so that they can try to find a way to do it. And plus, this game does involve a lot of resources, so let's keep that in mind. This game uses a lot of resources, no matter what you do. And my phone is a little hot right now, so I need to turn this off. But we will do our utmost to provide you with a smooth playing environment, and will notify you through our official channels if there are additional changes. Yeah, so they're still in the middle of testing to see if there's any way to optimize Grand Cross so that us players that have weak ass phones can play the game. That is basically what they're trying to do right now. So as a whole, they're still in the middle of testing. Hopefully they'll fix it in a much sooner, or at least a later date, so that us players can be notified. Make sure you guys go to the official forum for any official updates from these guys involving this. It's very important to look at it, because this sucks. This really sucks. But here there are some ways you can actually save your account from not dying, at least. But these are some alternatives. Like, you can actually downgrade your version. Like, yeah, here are some tips if you want to continue playing Grand Cross on either or both JP or Grand Cross. Here are some tips. Or JP or Global. Oh my goodness, JP or Global, there we go. Or Asia, or wherever, Korean, any version of the game. Here's some tips. One is downgrading from iOS to iOS 13. this is probably one of the ways you can actually downgrade. And yes, I will actually put these links in the description below so that you guys can find some options for yourself. You can also search up on YouTube, like I said. Just search up downgrading to iOS 13, and then boom, you're good to go. You should be able to play it somewhat smoothly again. The second option is to play on an Android emulator. So Grand Cross is actually affiliated with this program. BlueStacks actually does support Grand Cross in terms of how you play it and stuff. So yes, it is officially BlueStacks verified, which means you can play this on PC, both in tablet and landscape. So you'll actually be fine. And plus, this is very well playable. So if you have a really good PC, which let me see, there should be. They'll teach you how to download it. Trust me, they'll just teach you how to download BlueStacks and Grand Cross onto your computer, and then you'll be good to go. You'll be able to play Grand Cross on your PC, and it's very nice. It's pretty smooth on there too. But I recommend having a good enough PC to actually do it. I'm not sure how good, but just good enough. Another option I would say is Nox. I know Nox is technically not like, you know, affiliated with 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, but it should also be powerful enough to actually play 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. It should be on both global and JP. If you have another Android device, let's say, I don't know, the Samsung Galaxy S9, S10, or any Note series phones, they should also be powerful enough to take in a lot of resources from Grand Cross and put it onto there. If you have not synced your accounts onto either, I believe it's email, Facebook, or Gmail, you might want to do that now. You might want to try and do that. If you can do it from the starting screen, which I'll actually show right now, because I don't think you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go into Global Grand Cross. Here, and that's not good either. So then we get into here. Well, as long as everything does go up pretty well. There we go. And I believe game settings. You know what? I'm just gonna restart it. How about that? So what happens when you get into here is it's pretty damn simple. So you're in the front. So you're basically in the front of the screen, and you see in the bottom left corner there is something called sync data. If you're on iOS, they'll give you 3 options. They'll give you an option to sync with email, which I definitely recommend using because it'll let you you can actually connect both your JP and your global to the same email account, which is the middle button right there, and you'll be actually good to go. You don't need to sync it to anywhere else. But if you want to sync your account to Apple and Facebook, you can do that too, but I recommend just doing it with one just in case, you know. But this is fine. This is actually really fine. But please sync it. I believe it is the same thing with JP as well. Just click on that bottom button. Okay, so it'll connect to Game Center and email, which is the reason why I said only connect to email, because it'll access both JP and global or Asia or Korea. So those are like the only 2 reasons. Now I might go over some of the comments as well. Yes, there are at least loads of comments, 40 comments in fact. Jeez, I honestly hopefully they fixed it. Hopefully they'll fix it in time soon. But I don't have the best answers, but honestly those are like the options I would say. But the most important is to sync your data to your device. Yeah, just sync your data to email or Facebook or Game Center or Apple. Do whatever it takes to sync your data, because I don't want you to lose. I don't want to be the problem to why people don't save their data. So that is the update. There is one more thing I do want to talk about, is why I haven't been putting up Grand Cross content lately. So as you guys have seen, or if you guys don't know, I actually do a lot of Dokkan content. So that's the reason why I leave that up on my channel. But I do have Grand Cross right on here, and the reason why I haven't been doing it is because of that specific reason. I haven't been playing Grand Cross because of iOS 14, so I can't really do anything about it. But honestly, I think this is a good time for me to say I might be coming back later, but I don't think it's gonna be on this channel. I think it might be on a separate channel, but we'll have to see. So that is pretty much it. Well, hopefully you guys subscribe to this channel. I'm literally almost at 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below on your experience on what's been happening so far on iOS 14 and Grand Cross in general. Hopefully you guys know what you're going to be doing after this, but if they ever do fix it, I don't mind it, but hopefully they do. But if you have not subscribed to the channel, like I said, make sure you do so. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you all when I make another one.